Get this show on the road. Let's start Santa with Muscles. Welcome to the Nation of Conversation episode 286. Maybe? Is it 286?
Oh,
Santa with Muscles. My review of the week. My review show. It's me, Austin.
You just couldn't stay away from HH. You never can.
It's been a long time since we reviewed HH. There was what was that, 2018 when we reviewed like 6 HH movies in a row?
yeah.
Yeah, we each
went,
took
like,
one.
on like a bender on HH movies, and for some reason we never did this one, Santa with Muscles. Which did we ever rank the HH movies that we did? I don't know.
I think we did. We talked
Yeah.
about them.
I wonder where this will land on that list, because that
feel like-
one hardball curveball slider,
I think
It's
that's the only
definitely
one
the
that's
worst.
worse than this.
Yeah.
Fastball cutter.
hardball cutter, I think was his actual name. Fastball cutter,
That's what we kept
slider.
calling him. I'm pretty sure we kept calling him
Curveball
fastball
slider.
cutter.
forkball cutter. Yeah, Santa with Muscles.
This is not as good as Mr. Nanny,
No.
which is saying something because
No.
Mr. Nanny's not especially good.
This isn't as good as Mr. Nanny, but it's not good. Mr. Nanny is not good either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most HH movies aren't great. Santa with Muscles. We start with A Letter to Santa from what's her name? The
God,
one
I wanna
orphan
kick him
that
in the fucking face.
that Molly hated.
Would you say that, Wally? What'd you want to do to a sweet little child?
An orphan. You want to kick an orphan?
I texted you guys. I want to give her a big boot to the face.
Oh my god, I felt so bad for her. In that
She
one
had
scene
the
where
most annoying voice ever.
yeah, it was like a cartoon character voice.
Yeah. Her name's
Letter-
Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Okay, so she's writing a letter to Santa saying, like, this town's pretty messed up. You may want to come here and, like, when does Santa become a cop? What the hell?
Yeah,
He's
this
got a
is
lot.
before
like-
she knew that he had muscles. This is when she was looking for real Santa.
Yeah, Fatso Santa coming in to clean up the town. She wants him to come in a few days early because this guy, Mr. Frost, is ruining the town with his bullies.
Mr. Frost.
No, most of his number one problem is he's trying to take away the orphanage from the orphans. What an asshole.
I mean, if there's an orphanage in a movie, someone's trying to close it.
Oh, yeah.
Always. So we get to see our guy HH, which briefly I want to bring up. I remember him during my WCW rewatch years ago when it was all on YouTube. You just watch whatever. YouTube had no rules, and all of WCW was like in order, perfectly like organized on YouTube. You could just watch everything. So I would play video games, drink, and stay up till 3:00 in the morning before I had babies, and leave WCW playing in the background. And I specifically remember a promo in '96 where he was like, "I'm big time. I'm Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I'm too busy to be your champion. I gotta go make a movie, Santa with Muscles." He said that on WCW. I'm too important. I'm big in Hollywood. I'm gonna go make this piece of crap movie. So we see HH, and he has hair. Number one goofball thing of this movie is HH with hair and a mustache, not the goatee,
Yeah, just a rag mustache.
not the Fu Manchu, reg mustache and reg hair.
Yeah.
He's in the bushes spying on somebody wearing camouflage. Now, like Desert Storm camouflage, not like jungle camouflage, but whatever. So he's not hiding in this bush. Everyone knows he's there.
Yes.
And then a bunch of dudes come and fight him.
With pots and pans and
Like
things.
a chef with his pots and pans, and the driver, like a driver, and somebody else.
A
And-
gardener with a rake.
Right. And he beats them all up. And what was his first line of the movie?
Never
Oh, it-
stop to smell the roses.
oh.
As he smashes a rose pot over the gardener's head. And we think that this is like, he's like a military guy or something. Like, what is this? He's like Delta Storm or Desert. He's like Chuck Norris or something. No, this is just what he does for fun. Turns out
He's practicing. Yeah.
living crap out of his own staff because he's super rich and has nothing better to do than beat up his chef and his driver and all of his gardener. just beat the crap out of him.
So he has like special ops guys as his butlers, essentially. I don't know.
Were they special ops
Or
guys?
are they
I don't know.
or are they just slightly better than average at fighting, and also they
Yeah.
do these other chores?
I don't know. Well, the four of them are able to corner and get the
one's got a
drop
weed
on.
whacker.
Right.
The one has a weed whacker.
Yeah, the gardener gets
Putting
the
the weed whacker up to his throat, and you can
Yeah.
hear the engine running,
They
which means that the blade is spinning.
Which means that those little tong things are hitting
Are
him
chopping him in the neck.
because those things hit you all the time.
Yeah.
They hit my feet. I used to have a pair of shoes with a hole in the toe. Like you use your worst shoes when you cut the grass. And I used to have one with a hole in the toe, and I would always get my toe whacked by that thing at my old house. But they corner him in 4 minutes. Yeah, that was a weird digression. I know.
I just like you can do better. You don't have to hit your feet with the weed whacker.
I'm not a good weed whacker. I don't know what to say. They corner him in 4 minutes and they stop him, and HH is like, "How did I do?" Oh, 4 minutes. Okay, well,
Not great, Hulk.
Yeah.
4
seriously.
minutes beating up a driver. Well, what is his job again? He's a famous guy who sells supplements
Yeah, he sells like muscle
and
milk,
muscle
and
milk
stuff like that.
and
Yeah.
vitamins and all that.
I guess
kind of
back
shit.
then it would have been like creatine and
Steroids.
greenies.
What's the thing that was in McGuire's locker that was definitely steroids?
I think it's creatine.
No, it wasn't creatine. It was like
The next step up.
It was like a topical steroid or something.
Yeah.
He's selling
the
that.
cream.
So I love that HH working on getting stronger, getting bigger. And at one point he says, I need to get more tan or something like that.
Yes.
You can't possibly get any more tan.
The skin of
I
a
like
hot dog.
that the two of them looked at each other like, what the fuck?
It's got all his rules too. What's rule number 47?
Right.
All that garbage.
Blake's rules. So he quizzes his guys, especially Chaz, his like housekeeper guy, butler guy,
Yeah.
on all the
It's
rules.
Alfred.
And he says, like, make a note of that one, Chaz. But they're all like shit people have said. It's not like he came up with these like pearls of wisdom by himself. It's like, oh, never heard that one before. Add that to my list of rules.
Rule number 23. A bird or what is it? In the bush is worth two. In the hand is worth two in the bush.
I made that up just now.
Just now.
What a piece of crap. And he makes the other guys recite the rules. He's like, what's rule 92? They have to remember this shit.
They
I
do.
don't remember all this, but they do. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to go have my fun with my friends. I'm going to go play paintball.
Obviously.
Like, okay. And this game of paintball is unlike any other.
Yeah.
It's not even paintball. It's actually a car chase with paintball guns that very rarely get fired. They just chase each other through the streets, going as fast as they want to on their Hummers and their motorcycles.
Yep.
Maybe
That's it.
or maybe not shooting paintballs at each other. So then we meet the cop there. What is it? Clint Howard plays the cop. Who?
Yep.
I remember one thing about Clint Howard was the MTV Movie Awards. Remember this? They used to give out like a legacy award, but it was like a joke. They gave it to like goofy characters in movies. It's like a joke. It was back when they were trying to be funnier. And they gave one of these things to Clint Howard.
Oh, really?
Like legacy in movies. And because he's like a goofy character in all these movies.
And yeah. Like I feel like later in the movie his hair is puffed out like this. I feel like that's his look.
Yeah.
That's his go-to.
He's like a silly background character in movies. And he went up and he was there. And he received the award. I'm pretty sure. I hope I remember this right. And teared up and was like, I know that like this is kind of a joke, but I'm taking this as like an honor for my career. And I thank you for the recognition. And he got all like choked up about it. And then they had to end the award because they're like, well, shit, we're a bunch of assholes now who did this. This poor guy thought of it as like an honor. So I don't know if they changed it to like an actual real thing or if they just stopped doing it.
I
But
didn't know any of that.
that's one thing I remember about Clint Howard. Anyway, he's a cop and he's like trying to be tough. And he's like, I'm going to be tough. He's like trying to work it out in the mirror throughout the movie. And they drive by and he calls it in and he's like, terrorists, a militia. Oh my God. Because he sees the guns and Hummers and motorcycles and stuff. And he thinks they're real guns. And then he chases them and gets
I guess you see someone driving a Hummer, domestic terrorist, especially if it's an H3.
right.
You know,
I drove an H3 for years. There was one of my old jobs had one of those as a company car.
oh really?
What a piece of crap. What a trash car. And like they are huge and you think you can fit a lot of shit in the trunk. You cannot. You cannot fit you cannot fit a lot of gear in there.
Fit an amp in there.
Yeah, there was like room for an amp and like a half a table. It barely fit. For years, I always complained about it. Anyway, so the cops are chasing these guys, and then like you think if you're being chased by the cops, and there's like 6 cop cars, you may want to pull over and be like, "We're assholes. We're playing a paintball game. Like we're being stupid."
No, never surrender.
Nope.
Instead, you fire your paintball guns at people.
At the
Shoot
cops.
the cops with paintball guns. And he doesn't even care. HH is just like,
Yeah, never surrender. Rule number 26 or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
So he tries to escape by jumping out of a moving car. His H3. He jumps out of it, moving, rolls into a local mall. And we cut to the local mall has no Santa. There's 1,000 people in line, no Santa.
Does
No.
his friend who is now stuck driving the car, what happens to him?
I'm assuming he dies, right?
You would
Shot
have
and
to think
killed?
so.
Right. They've shot at the cops.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he died.
I'm assuming he got killed. Shoot first, ask questions later. You've been shot at. Anyway.
By a terrorist.
Yeah, by local militia. There's a terrible little person joke in here that does not age well. I forget what it was, but I'm not going to repeat it.
I don't remember.
That's how it starts. That's how the Santa scene starts. The elves, there's a bunch of elves. Why do you need this many elves? And why are they all like ex-mobsters?
And they all have this actual house that they hang out in too.
Yeah, why are they in a house playing cards? And this lady comes in, like the mall director, and she's like, "We lost Santa. I'll give you $50. Whoever brings me a Santa in the next like 10 minutes, I'll give you $50." So, this Lenny, I think, is the elf's name.
Yes.
Who's like,
Lenny.
what a character! What an overactor this guy was. But he's gonna work on this.
He's been in stuff too, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
He's Bob from that 70s show.
Oh,
is he?
that's Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
go.
what I recognize him from.
There you go.
Mhm.
Then we get Mr.
Funny because
Frost.
at first I thought that the cop was Red Foreman. So
They have the same hair. Then we get to meet Mr. Frost, who tortures motherfuckers, which made me think of Wu-Tang Clan. Torture motherfuckers by hanging them upside down and electrocuting them with his 3 goofy guys. Mr. Flint, who is a archaeologist.
yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Vile, who, what does he do again? Oh, he smells.
He has stinky
He's a chemist.
gases.
A chemist who smells.
Yeah, chemist who specializes in smelly stuff.
Yep. And he himself smells. And then Mrs. Watt, who is the electrocuting lady.
Yes.
And this shit is fucking insane. This shit is bonkers. This is where the
Actual
movie
torture.
is like, what is... And he's on a TV because he's afraid of germs. So he's pretty smart. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Afraid of germs already in 96.
Did you watch this with any children, Ryan?
No, but I did. I was going to say this at one point. There are some things later I think my kids would laugh at. I think like the beating up of the bad guys,
Mhm.
my kids would enjoy. I think that's who this is for, like 5-year-olds. Hogan, he's in the mall. We're going to get back to Flint, Vile, and Watt later.
Unfortunately, we're gonna get to them a
Like
lot.
weird supervillains. And were they torturing like a dude who owned like a what was it? Like a barber shop or something? It's
I
like, we
think
need
so,
your
something like
barber
that.
shop.
They're
Like,
just trying to get him to sell his property, essentially.
yeah, like what the fuck? By hanging him upside down and electrocuting him. So Hogan's in the mall. He needs to get out of his Desert Storm gear because the cops will recognize him, even though he's a 6'7" fucking Hulk Hogan ass motherfucker. They should easily be able to recognize him.
But with normal hair.
Yeah. He puts on a Santa suit because that's the only thing he can find in the cauldrons of the mall, like the back
Yep.
alleys of the mall. Finds this
Mhm.
change of clothes, turns into Santa, runs into the cops very quickly after this, and they're like, they treat him as if he is Santa. It's like,
Yep.
oh, sorry to bother you, Santa. And he's like, yo, ho, 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 I got work to do or something. And then they finally figure it out when a little kid walks by Hogan, who's not a good guy at this point, and asks, like, hey, Santa, I didn't see you out there. Can I give you my Christmas list? And he's like, get out of here, you brat.
Yeah.
And they're like, Santa would never.
That's not the real Santa.
Santa would never do that. What kind of crap is that? That's got to be Hulk Hogan. So they start chasing him down. He jumps and tries to escape by jumping down a garbage chute. Do malls have garbage chutes like this? He jumps in, like, hangs over a garbage chute.
Yep.
And they can't find him, so they leave. And then a dude in the mall throws out a Santa. Like
a plastic Santa, yeah.
A plastic Santa, which is enough to hurt 6'7", jacked, gas to the gills, Hulk Hogan, knocking him into the garbage area where he falls all the way down, bangs his head, knocks himself clean out in the Santa outfit. But he lands right next to Lenny the Elf. It was like, this is great. I'm going to steal this guy's money.
Yep.
And pulls out his wallet, which is full of $100 bills and credit cards, and his license says Blake, whatever his name is. And he's like, "Oh, I immediately recognize this guy," which is a big sticking point for the rest of this movie. I immediately recognize this is Blake, supplement guy. I'm going to steal his credit cards and all his money, and I'm also going to turn him into Santa to be Santa, and can make $50. So HH wakes up and he has full amnesia from this fall. He doesn't remember his name or anything about himself.
He doesn't seem to forget anything else except for personal details.
And then he knows everything else, like how to be a human being, but nothing about his name or where he lives or what, and any of his shitty behavior before. He doesn't remember any of that. So the elf is like, yo, dude, you're Santa. That's who you are. And he's like, okay. Great.
Look at your clothes.
So HH goes to be Santa. He's like, okay, well, I got to be Santa. So he comes in, and finally all the kids are excited. He's going to be Santa, and starts out poorly because he does not know how to be Santa. He doesn't even know who he is. He's got a concussion. He's fully concussed, and now he's got to be Santa for all these kids. The elf goes to get money, use the credit card to get money, which is a bad plan because the dude who has the PIN number has amnesia.
Yep.
So there's no way you're going to be able to get the money out, but whatever. That's not how credit cards work. You go and buy shit from the store if you steal that.
Yep.
Or you don't have to put the number in. Anyway, so he goes to a credit card machine, which this movie is very stupid. It's in 1996. It's weird. Why the fuck are the ATMs so good?
Fingerprint.
The ATM is talking to him and telling him he needs a fingerprint. Like, what the fuck?
Why are the ATMs so good in this universe? But we don't even have thumbprints. We have thumbprint phones. We don't have thumbprint ATMs now.
Nope.
I don't think. Anyway, so he can't get the money out. So he's got to go back and like try to convince HH to help him steal money from himself, which is going to be hard to do. Meanwhile, there's more. Like this entire town is just filled with assholes. These two guys try to steal. There's a big thing of charity money for the orphanage, and these two dudes try to steal the money.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl
in the middle of
sticky
the mall.
bandits.
Right, because the lady's asleep, so they think they can steal this thing. And this little girl who was just on HH's lap, she comes running back to Hogan and is like, Santa, we need your help. Like, again, why would Santa be able to stop them, get mall security, but whatever. Santa, we need your help. These two assholes are stealing all this money. So he goes and has a hardcore match with these two guys and beats their asses, throws them around. The crowd loves it. And then he gets so weird after this. Like, instead of going back to be Santa or trying to figure out who he is, he sees like the mission, save the orphanage. He's like, that's what I need to do.
That's what Santa would do.
That's what I need to do right now. I want to go save the orphanage right now. We should help them. So he convinces Lenny to go to the orphanage, and they go outside. He goes, where's the sleigh? Lenny's like, there's no sleigh. There's only a moped. Okay. Cool. So they have to take a moped to go to this place. We meet the doctor who's helping Mr. Frost, another evil villain. Frost won't do any of this work himself because he's afraid of germs. Do we ever find out why he's afraid of germs? I don't think
it's
so.
Just a quirk of his.
He's a weird guy. So the doctor goes to the orphanage. He says to Leslie, the head of the orphanage, that they're going to take it over. They need to get out now. And they're going to pull down this statue, which they did earlier in the movie, right?
They do it later. I think they come back and finish the job.
They do it a couple times.
They did it to somebody else, I think.
Oh, it was a different place.
To the barber guy or whatever, I think.
But the little girl who was writing the letters, looking out the window, watching them pull a statue down.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So no, they stole a Christmas tree, I thought.
Oh, was it a Christmas tree? Anyway.
In the beginning, I think so.
So they're trying to steal the statue. They use a chain. They put it to a ice cream truck. That's what they have, an ice cream truck. Because why?
Yeah, because why?
Because they trap it. They put a chain around the statue, and they're going to pull it off of the orphanage front lawn. They do this, and then the guy, I forget his name now, who's also an actor in a lot of stuff, but I forget his name.
Dr. Blight, Steve Valentine?
No, the orphanage guy, the other orphanage guy.
Clayton,
yeah.
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris, yeah. Who was on SNL? Pretty sure, right? Wasn't he on SNL?
Someone in this movie is on Saturday Night Live.
What is Garrett Morris from? Look that up. He's from something.
Looking.
I thought he was a comedian. Anyway, he's in the road, like trying to stop them, and they're gonna fucking run this dude over.
Saturday Night Live.
SNL.
Yeah, I thought it was SNL. Anyway, they're gonna run over Garrett Morris.
Original cast member.
Oh, was he the original Ant-Man?
Ant-Man.
Like way back in the day.
No, I don't think so.
I'll keep looking, but go ahead.
Anyway, so they're gonna run this guy over, but then they get real close to hitting him, and the car just stops and spinning his wheels, and camera pans out, and HH is holding onto the statue and the chain,
stronger than an ice cream truck,
stopping the car from driving. The weird thing about this movie is he's Blake, whatever the hell, supplement guy. He's not like Hulk Hogan. He's just a dude, but he's strong enough to stop this car. So the kids in the orphanage are like, a real life superhero is here. We're all going to come running out and figure out what is going on. They convince Santa to stay for dinner. And then we see the kids.
And then the adults are, oh, well, keep going. Sorry.
The adults are weird too. We see Mila Kunis, as a kid. So that's two different people who were on that 70s show in this movie.
Yep.
Bob and Mila Kunis, who met on this movie before that show started.
Apparently.
Yep. The other kid is familiar to me too, the redheaded kid.
The boy?
Yeah. He's in a bunch of those.
He's in tons of 90s stuff.
90s shows.
He's in tons of stuff.
He was in an episode of Boy Meets World. I mean, he was in all those 90s shows.
Yeah. So he's there. Everyone, they're having like a good old time, and they all treat him as if he's really Santa. Leslie and Clarence, was it Clarence? Included. Mr. Frost.
I get the feeling that they were like, oh, these are a couple of homeless guys. So you're like, you can
Yeah.
stay here tonight if you need to.
We've got plenty of beds. That's what they say, because the orphanage has been threatened to be closed down for so long that they just got lots of people, parents.
Except
Got
for
'em out of there.
these
Except for
rejects that are left.
These 3 delinquents. These 3 rejects. The little girl and everybody explain how bad Mr. Frost is and what he's trying to do. And Santa HH says, sounds like a very naughty boy. They offer him cookies and milk, and his memory comes back a little bit here because he doesn't like sweets. And he's like, ooh, I don't like this. That's not good for you, right? Like, you're Santa, you need to eat that stuff. So they decide, like, okay, we're gonna stay with you overnight. We're gonna invite these 2 creeps to live with a bunch of kids overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Very bizarre. So they get put in jammies. They have Hulk Hogan sized jammies.
Yes. At a children's orphanage.
At a children's orphanage, which is a goofy outfit for sure. Because he's in the mirror, like, with no beard on, because he took off his fake beard. Like, that's weird. I don't look like Santa. Even though, how would he know what Santa looks like? He has amnesia. I don't know. So he's looking at himself in the mirror. He's like, God, I look weird. I should have a white beard. And why do I have hair? And this is bizarre. And Lenny walks up and he's wearing like a bunny suit.
Yep.
And he makes fun of Hogan for what he's wearing. And HH is like, look at you. You're in a damn bunny suit. What the hell is this? Next morning, HH comes out and he forgot to put his fake beard back on. And all the kids are freaked out because they're like, what is up with this? Why is Santa blonde? Why is Santa so tan? He lives in the North Pole. Why is he so tan? Why is he jacked and not fat? Like, why is he not jolly? What's going on here? And then quickly, Lenny has to save him and say, oh, well, he only wears that when he goes out.
Mrs. Claus doesn't like
Mrs. Claus doesn't like the beard. So,
good enough.
Fine. A newspaper arrives, which makes this movie very old. They get a newspaper and they open it up and it says Santa with muscles. The paper was there at the mall and covered this robbery in live action.
Yeah.
And they were able to get it all. Blake eats cereal and drinks from a glass, and the elf Lenny needs the thumbprint still for the ATM. So he steals the glass from him, thinking that's going to be enough to scan the thumbprint on the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is all happening, I enjoyed this. They play Ric Flair's music. What is it? Pomp and Circumstance?
Oh, yeah.
But he in slow motion drinks the glass and Lenny realizes he has to steal it from him. They play Ric Flair's like Pomp and Circumstance music. I don't think it's Pomp and Circumstance, but whatever it is, his entrance song. They play that during this scene, which made me laugh. They talk about Santa and all of Santa's rules, which Blake has rules. So he immediately connects, like, well, I must be Santa because I remember the rules that I always talked about. So that it must be true. Mila Kunis her character is a amazing seamstress. She pulls out this new Santa outfit for HH, which is, of course, sleeveless. Gotta have sleeveless because he's jacked. So she sewed this whole thing, and she's
quite the seamstress.
Yeah, and then Lenny the elf is like, "Hey, where's my outfit?" And she's like, "I'm not done with yours yet." Santa goes first. The news people show up to the orphanage, and they want to talk to Santa with muscles. Yeah. This lady who shows up a bunch of times. She wants to talk to Santa with muscles. They're at the door. He is very bad with the media. So, like, we want to talk to you. How did you get here? And he goes, a rooster. They go, wait, no reindeer? And he goes, I eat reindeer meat. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Like,
Whoops. I'm kidding. And then he cuts in a wrestling promo on all the children of the town, basically like, let me tell you something, children. If you don't do right or by me, I'm gonna come down and bring the hammer down. You feel me, brother? Mr. Frost is watching this broadcast and he's like, I think I know this guy because he's famous, right? Everyone should know who he is.
Yeah.
He's the richest person in town or something.
Everybody knows the most famous person in the town or famous people in the town and want to know what they're up to. Come on.
Did you talk about at breakfast how Lenny like eats the cereal on top of his like French toast or whatever and then crushes the cereal box because it's got
He's got his face on it.
Yeah. Right, because Hulk Hogan's in this movie like he was in real life. Products everywhere, which we'll find later. So the creepy doctor working for Mr. Frost captures Lenny the Elf when Lenny the Elf is trying to, I think this is when he's at the ATM trying to get back into the ATM and it's not working because he got the wrong thumbprint.
Sorry, that's the left thumbprint, or that's the right thumbprint.
Not because it was a bad idea, because it's just the wrong one.
It worked,
but
it didn't work.
The ATM tells him that. The ATM tells him that's the right thumbprint. We need the left. What the fuck?
Are thumbprints different between hands? I thought they were the same.
Yes. No.
They're different between hands?
Yeah.
So it doesn't work out. So they captured Lenny and they said, like, you got to help us get rid of this guy. Like, come on, you got the connection to him. Help us get rid of him. So a little girl that you hate, Wally, you want to kick. She's in the church. There's a church connected to this orphanage.
Yep.
This was the scene that made me send that text.
Oh, this was it. So she's singing some song, and she says, HH comes in, and she says that she sings in there because her parents are gone. They're both dead, I think. She sings in the church because the windows light up when she sings, and that makes her think that her mom's listening to her or something. Very nice.
Very kick-worthy, Ryan.
Very, extremely kick-worthy.
This sad orphan has fond memories of her mother. What about that is not
kick-worthy?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Her voice is kick-worthy.
So this nice moment happens, and they're back in the house, and the head of the statue gets thrown through a window. These guys are like goofy and silly at sometimes, and crazy fucked up at other points. So they throw the statue head through the window, and then HH is like, I've had enough of this crap. I'm gonna go kick everybody's ass. So he suits up in the Santa outfit, goes out, beats up the entire goof troop. Kicks all their asses, comes back in, sends them running, leaves them laying, and then the redheaded boy Taylor, I believe, is acting real weird during this fight, and he disappears. So everybody's like, "What the hell happened to him? Where'd he go?" So HH smartly is like, he went to Frost's house, I think.
How?
Yeah, I don't know how he made that connection, but.
Because he's all that he saw was the kid's Walkman on like the ground.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I get it.
Oh, of course he went there. So he goes there with the elf, Lenny, and then this guy's got like a gated house. So this is wacky. He throws Lenny over the fence because he's so strong. But then he himself has like a 50-foot vertical leap and jumps over the fence by himself. Why doesn't he just punch it over? Why does it? Santa with muscles, missed opportunity. Hogan body slams a fence.
Does he?
Just rip him open.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh my god!
But that's a vertical. I'll give him that.
Why is this man not playing basketball? My God, the Knicks could use him.
God, the Knicks could use anybody.
Could current day HH make current day New York Knicks?
Like current 65-year-old HH with no leg?
Yes.
And bad hip make the Knicks?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Santa with muscles, HH, who can jump over a giant fence?
Yeah.
Would definitely make the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They find this kid Taylor. He's trying to shoot. He's got like a pebble shooter or like one of those like
Slingshot.
slingshot with a rock. Like, I'm gonna get him real good. This is not
Break
gonna
his
work.
window.
You're about to be tortured. Yeah, I guess because they broke the orphanage window, he's gonna go break their window.
Yeah. You didn't really talk about how all around this guy's property is a
What
bunch
is
of
going on?
weird
Experiments.
things that are just letting off steam at points. Like,
Yeah.
This
what
is
the
where
fuck's going on?
he's torturing dudes. He's torturing motherfuckers in his front yard.
Yeah.
He tortures the one
in
guy
the yard, not in the basement.
in the front of his yard.
Yeah.
This is how fucked up the town's police is. So HH stops the kid from shooting a rock at the window, and he's like, "Get out of here! Go back to the orphanage." He says, "Lenny, you got to take him back." And then he spies on them, and he sees Frost's map, and it's like got all the dots on it. So he's able to connect the dots and go back and say, "There's something under the church. What's going on? Is there anything you can tell me?" And like, "Oh, well, there's a vault under there." And like, "Oh, that would have been very helpful hours ago if you had figured that out." But so they go down to the vault, and the kids know some of the numbers to the combination, which is
How do they know the numbers?
I guess they've spent hours down there trying to wait to hear it click or something. So they all know the first three numbers, but they were able to figure that out, but they couldn't figure out the last one.
Yes.
But HH, that investigator, he figures it right out. And like, boom, I got it. I know the last number. And he opens it right up.
Yep.
And I'm not really sure what the number was.
Nope.
Like, what was the connection there? It was obviously something. He's like, I know these numbers. And
we
then
find out why later, maybe that he knows it.
I can't remember. But oh, right. Is that what it is?
But I don't know.
That must be it. Anyway, HH figures it out. They open it up. It's a giant room full of aggro crag glowing rocks. Which, don't they say they're real? I learned about them in school. They're real rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of these things. These crystals that explode are underneath.
They glow and they give off electricity or they conduct electricity or some shit like that.
How they make the windows glow is confusing if they're in a locked vault, but whatever. So they get in there. Taylor, the dumb dickhead kid who ran away, he grabs one of these things and drops it and it explodes. And
yeah, seems very dangerous.
it seems super dangerous to let kids in there. So they're like, okay, let's shut this down. And they leave. And HH is standing there and he's starting to remember some of his past. And he's like, how the heck am I even Santa? How did I get here? After the kids leave. And Lenny's like, this is all I know about you. You had these clothes with you. And he gives him the Desert Storm clothes or whatever.
And it looks like blood, but it's the paintball.
Right. And then, so he thinks he was a really bad guy. And then Frost calls Lenny on his cell phone and says, you got to be sneaky. Let the doctor in the house. He's there. The doctor comes in, but HH comes in. And then we get this weird ass fight where HH chases the doctor off a bell tower in the church. And then he punches the doctor right in the face. Knocks him out. Celebrates the win, but oops, there's a Santa decoration up there that's moving and accidentally knocks, again, another weird Santa thing, knocks over 6'7", 300-pound Hulk Hogan, knocks him out of the bell tower. It looks like he's going to die.
Oh, yeah.
But he lands in a garbage truck.
The man is dead.
And then it drives away.
Yeah, a little plastic thing picks him up and throws him.
Is that what it is? Does it throw him?
It just it grabs his hip and tosses him out the thing.
Hip toss. Gives him a little hip toss. It's very confusing why Santa, like plastic Santas, keep beating him up. But he gets thrown into this garbage truck and it drives away. So now doctor's laughing like, oh, I've won, even though he did nothing. And they're going to take over the orphanage now. There's no one there to save him. So HH wakes up in Santa outfit in his own bed, in his house. And like, what happened? And Chaz comes in and he's like, well, the garbage truck driver recognized you because you're super famous.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the whole rest of the movie, no one recognizes him ever. But I recognize you, and I brought you back home. So HH is very concerned about the orphanage. So he calls up, like, are you guys okay? And they use the Home Alone trick voice thing to trick him into thinking they hate him. And the voice is Leslie basically saying, like, we don't like you. You let them in. Leave us alone. Meanwhile, back at the real, so he's bummed out. So back at the real orphanage, they're like, why is Santa not come back and helped us? What the fuck? The scientists are there, 3 baddies, and they explode the front door. They blow up the front door. And Mr. Frost walks in a full-on spacesuit because he's afraid to go outside because of germs. So he's got a spacesuit. And he says to them, like, I want to get into the vault. I want what's in the vault. And the parent, like the orphanage people are like, just let the kids go. Take the whatever you're gonna do. Just go in the thing, but let the kids go. And he's like, oh no. I am so evil. I'm going to use the kids as miners to mine the ores and the crystals. What a fucking
child
asshole.
labor.
I'm going to use them as slaves. So he needs the kids to open up the vault, but they refuse. So he uses, what's his name there? The fucking archaeologist to open the door. Whatever his name was. Mr.
He
Frost.
essentially has like a not a hacksaw, but like a
Mr. Flint. He uses Mr. Flint to try to open the door. And he's gonna mine these crystals. And then he says, they're like, Lenny, we need your help. And he's like, well, Lenny's a traitor. He helped me get in the house. So the kids are like, oh, fuck you. You suck too. Santa's awful. He left us. And then we get HH back at his house, and the butlers and all those guys are trying to fight him. Like his daily fight or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he has no interest in doing this. And they're like, wow, he's never wanted to not beat us up. What the hell? He must be really messed up. And he doesn't want to eat his food, and he's just kind of sitting around. And then Lenny, using his cell phone, just calls up HH and says, yo, these guys took over the orphanage. We need your help. And he's like, okay, great. I'll come and help you. Then blasting through the door is Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the full-on racist character here, or whatever this was.
As some sort of Asian man.
Last week when we read his thing, like what his character was called, it was something like it was vaguely racist, like Asian man or something like that. But on the actual credits in the movie, it just says like henchman or something. So Brutus the Barber Beefcake comes in and he beats up Lenny, starts throwing him around. HH is so pissed. He takes his cell phone and he just crushes it in his hand. He's so mad. And then he decides he's going to take his butler and his driver and his chef and everybody with him to help take back over the orphanage. So they start driving in the Hummer, and Clint Howard, who's been shown up earlier in the movie, is practicing again, trying to be tough. Like, stop or I'll shoot, freeze. And then the car drives by again, and the terrorists are back. Terrorists are back. And this time they fight the cops again. Instead of saying, we need your help, please arrest these fucking assholes in the town.
Terrorists.
Yeah, these guys trying to take over the town, torturing people. They dump Blake's diet foods and his muscle milk and his powdered drink mix out the back of the truck to make all the cop cars crash. And then there's like an area where they're trying to stop them, like a barricaded area with a bunch of cop cars. And a dude walks out with a fucking bazooka.
Yep.
A cop walks out with a bazooka And then I'm pretty sure they have a lot of overpowered things these days, but I'm pretty sure they don't have bazookas still. Anyway, he walks out with a bazooka and fucking shoots it at the Hummer, which their only crime is they sped and dumped powder on somebody, but bazooka,
Yep.
which
The
misses the Hummer and it hits Clint Howard's car and explodes. And then they like pass around. I actually kind of laughed at this where they pass the bazooka. It was me when they pass the bazooka around or whatever. So the HH crew, they get to the house. Santa's crew gets to the house. They can't get in. So again, they steal from Home Alone. And they use the electrocute the doorknob trick from Home Alone. A lot of stealing from Home Alone in this.
When did this movie come out?
96. So they put jumper cables on the door and attach them to the Hummer, and the bad guy comes to the door and he gets zapped and they get their way into the house. HH very quickly saves the children, but instead of saving them and getting them fuck out of there, this fucking disaster zone, he gives them weapons and says, come fight with me.
Yeah, I'm not doing this alone. This is your house.
He gives one kid and a fire extinguisher.
Yep.
He also said, they also like, oh, you're back. And he's like, I'm not Santa. My name is Blake. Nice to meet you. He just like totally ruins it all. Like, I'm Blake. Come fight with me. So they fire extinguisher a dude. And then they, the stinky scientist, they fill his tank full of gas. Blah. This is the part.
His own gas, right?
This is the part I thought my kid would laugh at because he loves fart jokes and anything like that. But I really don't want to sit through this movie again just so he can see it. I really don't. So I'm probably never going to show it to him. But anyway, so they put gas into this guy's suit and it's so gross and stinky. He passes out. Then HH has to fight Brutus the Barber Beefcake. This boy. They have a fight in the church, but HH just flat out squashes him. Squash match. Lenny pours water from the balcony onto Electric Girl, Mrs. Watt, and electrocutes her. And then he gives the wallet back to HH and says, like, I stole your wallet. I knew it all along. I'm sorry. You seem like a good guy. I'm not gonna do this. HH is not mad at him. HH is not mad about it.
Like, all right, cool. Yeah.
You're a good friend. What? He's not a good friend.
As far as I can remember, you're a good friend.
He's really not. The amnesia's gone at this point. Like, HH comes in, he kicks the door down. Then we find out. Oh, he finds Leslie and what's his name there? The other guy. He kicks the door down, and they're like, Jesus, you didn't have to kick the door down. Just open it, or he could have knocked. And then the guy says, oh, you went to the orphanage. Like, what? Yeah. He's only had amnesia about his life for a little while, right?
Apparently, this felt more like he had actively blocked out his time in the orphanage.
This is like a separate issue of amnesia?
I don't think
and
it's
guess
amnesia.
who his best friend at the orphanage was?
Oh, it was Frost.
It was Edmund Frost. Oh, so my God.
That's why Frost knows who HH is, not because he's famous, but because they went to the orphanage together. And
except he doesn't know who HH is until
he reminds him later. Yeah.
He calls him the right name or something.
Because they were friends, apparently.
Evie. He calls him Evie, and then Frost responds with Triple H or with HH's real name.
That was a Freudian slip there. I think we need a Triple H Santa with muscles recreation.
Oh man,
I did not understand this at all. So his amnesia, he's got multiple blockouts. Something bad happened at this orphanage? Is that why he is a...
It sure seems that way.
Oh my God.
Because neither one of them remembers.
Nope. So we get a crystal sword fight between a bad one between Frost.
That's how you take gems out of the ground. You just yank them and they come out in a perfect
tube. In a perfect lightsaber tube. And these things explode when they even get dropped. So when they clash together, why do they not explode? Anyway, so they have a fight. Frost's suit gets cut open. All the crystals are going to blow up. They got to get the fuck out of there. So the fight really doesn't end. I guess the kid hits him with the pea shooter or whatever, and it rips a hole in his suit or whatever, freaks him out. Anyway,
Mhm.
they go running out because all the crystals are going to explode.
Yeah, this house is gonna blocks. It's gonna explode.
And basically what happens is the church gets electrocuted
Yep.
and kind of just falls apart like really shittily, like a shitty model.
It gets poltergeisted. It gets sucked in.
Mhm.
Kind of, yeah. Like the pieces, the little matchstick pieces all falling on each other, but the orphanage is fine, just the church is wrecked. Completely destroyed. Then, even crazier, the cops show up. They don't arrest HH.
No, he's a good guy now.
Clint Howard pulls up in the car that got bazookaed.
Oh God.
He drives this thing.
Yeah.
There's no other cop car to try. How's it still running? Got shot with a bazooka. He pulls up. All the bad guys are getting rounded up like every kid's movie should. You know, they get rounded up and they get taunted and made fun of by the kids as they go to jail. And then another part I think my kid would like, they all get put in the back of like the paddy wagon and oh no, they're stuck in there with the smelly guy.
But he stinks so bad.
He stinks so bad. The windows are all, there's no windows except for the back window where the doctor is and his like stink face where he like squishes it up against the window like, ah! All the kids laugh. All the kids laugh. And then Frost gets taken away in the car. And yeah, I guess that friendship did not last or come back because he's pissed, still pissed at HH. So
Yep.
hopefully we get a sequel someday. And then we get a new orphanage, which is
In
even
Frost's house.
also
Yeah,
crazy.
Hey, I have my mansion. Do you want to come hang out at my mansion? No.
Nope.
Go to this
No.
evil dude's house.
Why not have them go to his mansion? That would be
He's still
nice.
selfish.
That would be a nice ending where he could be like, "Hey, I've learned my lesson." Because at one point he says, "Like, I realized I was a bad guy. I was kind of a dickhead. Like, I need to be nicer." That would have been the perfect ending if he had let the kids go and live at his own mansion. But no, he gives them Frost's house. How does he have rights to Frost's house? How
He
can
does
there's
not.
there's no next of kin? Like, doesn't the government get to own it? Like, how the hell does he get control of Frost's house? Or does he just buy it? I assume
Frost
he's
would
just
still technically own it, wouldn't he? Even though he's in jail.
yeah, right?
You would think so.
You can't just take people's property away. Anyway, I guess he bought it. I'm assuming he's super rich, so he bought it. So
Oh,
the orphanage gets to hang out there, not at his mansion.
No.
And
No.
it's just like a bunch of happy kids. There's a lot of fucking orphans. We're back to like 40 orphans. We had 3, but now we're back to like a lot of people with no parents.
Import some more, yeah.
I'm
They got
guessing
room.
they were all like tortured, dead business owners for this crystal thing. That Frost killed them all.
So
And then the other craziest thing, like it's like this movie is like, here's a stupid thing. Here's an even stupider thing. Here's an even stupider thing at the end. They finish with this one, this gem. They're at the orphanage and they have binoculars and they're watching the bad guys in jail from the orphanage.
Yep.
It's right there. The jail's right there. So you just watch these dudes like breaking
with a
rocks or whatever.
telescope.
The
Through a
nice part of town.
telescope.
Yeah.
They live right next to it. And then they
Oh,
say
man.
even crazier. I think there's a line in there. It says like, wow, this has been a crazy week or something like that. Meaning the timeline was like a day ago they got arrested and then now they're in prison
Doing hard
Yep.
labor.
doing hard time. And he was able to do all these business deals in like 2 days to give them a new orphanage. What the shit is going on in this movie?
Got to wrap it up.
Wow.
So throughout the movie, we see like all the squares on the map that Ebner is like,
Yeah.
buying up the property, and they're all over like this orange spot, except for or including the orphanage, which is like 2 or 3 of these orange spots.
Right.
So wouldn't like the entire fucking block blow up and not just the orphanage?
You would think. Crystal beget crystal.
Yeah.
They would all explode. I can't
But we're
remember
gonna
why
ignore
they
that.
were. Why were they going to make him rich again? I can't even remember why. Is there like a fuel source or something?
Yeah, he's gonna use him to power something.
Yeah.
When they went amnesia and then double amnesia, like this is crazy.
Different issues.
Don't you remember you
altogether.
used to live here? You grew up here?
You grew up there for years.
And then Ebner at one point says something to him, and he's like, your parents gave you everything. It's like, wait. Was he an orphan or did he have parents? Like, I don't, what's going on?
Like
He
his
must have got
adopted. But okay, so Frost is mad, and that's why he became evil because HH
Okay. Was adopted by
rich parents. But Frost has a mansion. He did
Yeah.
fine. He obviously has plenty of money. So what's he complaining about? They both have mansions.
Yeah.
They both did fine. He has a arguably nicer mansion than HH does.
Yeah, but he wanted those crystals.
Why? He's already rich.
Why wouldn't a failing orphanage sell to this guy? Because these 3 kids have to live there?
They don't have any money, so they have the church and all that. But because the church blows up, they can go live in a mansion. It's also weird that the church blows up and they're like, oh, okay, the church blew up, whatever. Like, isn't that an important part of what they do there? Maybe, I don't know. They weren't sad about the church blowing up. I'll say that. Like they were just like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
What a shit movie.
It's not very good.
It's not, but it was silly. It's awfully silly,
Oh,
which
it
is
was
what I
bad.
wanted. That's what I wanted.
Top that, Wally.
That's gonna be hard to beat. What you got,
All
Wally?
right.
You're up next.
Yep. You can find it on Hulu.
Okay.
Escape from New York.
Awesome.
Oh, I've
Love it.
never seen it. We've talked about it. Is
Love
this
it.
the one? Is it New York or LA where he's the best basketball player of all time?
LA is the shittier one, right?
I don't know. I've never seen
LA
it.
is
I
the
don't know.
sequel where he plays basketball. I'm pretty sure.
LA is definitely the sequel.
That's one that is the one that's like insanely stupid and fun. I can't remember if New York is more serious or if it's also stupid and fun. I think it's more serious.
What is the connection for this?
I do not remember off the top of my head, but I know there is one. Let me see.
What a fun
See what
surprise it'll
the
be.
cast is. Wasn't it Tiny Liston?
Oh, he's
Probably.
back.
I thought that's the reason I picked it.
I
Let
feel
me
like
see.
Mike would like this movie, right? Or Mike does like this movie.
I'm sure he
I
does.
feel like this is right up his
What year did it come out? That's how we'll really know.
81.
Oh, then for sure.
Yeah.
He'll be
You think-
nostalgic for it.
You think he doesn't like nostalgia though?
But he likes nostalgia. That's just a little bit too old for him.
He likes
Yep.
RoboCop's nostalgia, but not nostalgia. itself.
1981. Wow, yeah.
We get Kurt Russell. It was awesome.
Oh, his name is Snake.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course. Snake Plissken, right?
Yep.
Who is
What is
the wrestling connection? Are you about to let us down here?
No, like there was definitely
Oh no. Did you make a mistake?
Ox Baker is the wrestling connection.
Who?
Yep.
He's a wrestler named Ox Baker. He also was on Price is Right. I think we watched him on Price is Right once.
You ever watch Prices Right? You mean Family Feud?
Yep, Ox Baker, that's who it was. Douglas Baker.
Price is Right. What are you talking about?
Oh, then maybe that's something I'm coming back to one of these days.
Wait a minute. Did you just
Stampede
spoil your own
Wrestling.
show? You're gonna make us watch Price is Right wrestlers?
It was one of the ones that I was gathering if I ever wanted to do another game show.
Wow. Well, this is an unknown wrestler, but it still counts.
Yep.
I don't.
Stampede. He was in Stampede Wrestling.
So the Canadian promotion. Nice.
Yeah.
It is 81, so that would be high popularity of Stampede Wrestling, I guess. Okay. Escape from New York. I am excited.
Winning a majority of his matches by knockout caused by the heart punch.
I love the heart punch. Not enough people use a heart punch these days. Just need like an old school wrestler who just does headlocks and heart punches and just says like I'm not going to do high spots. That would be fun.
Yep.
All right, that's it. It's over. We're doing that next. Escape from New York. You're going to come out with a good one here. I think Mike's going to be sorry he misses this one. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Yeah, he is.
He likes this movie for sure. All right, that's it. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.